said earlier, the conversation this morning is focusing on the state of the state. And when I mean the state of the state of the state of the living spring, your dear Osun State, created in 1991, August 27, and here we are. By this year, Osun will, be clocking another age, 1991 to 2025. That's quite some time. But at this time, it's not just about the creation of the state or how the state has fared so far. Is the issues, those issues challenging us. When I mean us, people here and people looking, watching all over the world. Basically, we're going to talk about the politics, very importantly, governance. But we start from local government administration in Osun State, which has gone almost comatose with what has happened, political turmoil, the back and forth, the election that was held, February 2, that produced local government, chairman and councillors that the governor, in his own wisdom said, guys, stay at home to avoid a repeat of what happened before that time when there was a forceful takeover or resumption of mandate. That's what the APC called it. As they said, they had the order of the court to take back whatever is theirs. And so the local government workers largely have been at home. The association in Osun State have told them to be at home. And for months now, February till August, almost 6 months, and nothing really is happening. And the funds that belong to the local government, have not been released. The Osun State government, the PDP, have said it has been seized. These are the issues. We talk to the man in charge of enlightening the public in Osun State, and is in charge of information. Kolapo Alimi. He joins us virtually this morning. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Give us an update. What is happening in our local council right now? There have been a series of suits and counter suits. The Osun State government went to court at some point, withdrew the suit, and later we had recently, like a few weeks ago, where we learned the Attorney General of the Federation went to court asking that the governor, your principal, Governor Adeleke, and Osun State government should return some months, almost 7 months of local government allocation in his charge. And this is where we are. But for some people, they are not happy that local government has went comatose. Give us an update of what is happening to our local councils. Honorable.
Thank you very much. Let me start from where you alluded to. The Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, in his personal capacity or in his official capacity as the Attorney General, has never approached any court for anything in relation to Osun State. What happened was that after the allocation that belongs to the states, which ought to be paid through the local governments, is being withheld, the Osun State approached the Supreme Court that this is unconstitutional. After filing our case at the Supreme Court, the Honorable Attorney General, who, because to sue the federal government, is between Osun State and the federal government, and by law, it is the Honorable Attorney General office or the Attorney General himself that will sue the Attorney General. So the Honorable Attorney General has to defend the federal government. We sue the Attorney General, we sue the federal government, we sue the Attorney General on behalf of the federal government. Now, they filed their reply. It was in their reply that when they find it difficult to pound any theory to the case which we filed, they now said yes, they have paid certain amount of money because of the Supreme Court judgment of July 5, 2024, which said they should pay directly to the local government. That money was actually paid in error and that we should refund the money. We filed further and better affidavit to reply there that the money which they claim was paid to Osun State in error was not actually paid in error. And if there is anybody that is violating the Supreme Court judgment, it is the federal government. And that the money is not only paid to Osun State, and that the money was actually paid to all the other 35 states. And we showcased the evidence. And we let the Supreme Court know that our own allocation is being withheld, while others are being paid through the local government as a there. When they saw that one, they kept months. But along the line, they now came up with another theory that yes, they couldn't pay our allocation because of the fact that there is a lockdown in the issue of the local government, and that they didn't know the person that was sent the money. We let them know that there was never a judgment which reinstated the yes and no local government chairman. However, along the line, June 13, we got judgments. You know, the APC, who hitherto have been claiming that a judgment has restored them. They have been claiming that the judgment of APC doesn't matter. They realized later, and they approached the Court of Appeal to release the case, which had either been struck out. So on June 13, the Court of Appeal delivered a well-considered judgment, wherein they made it categorically clear that our position was very correct, and that the judgment of APP delivered on 30th November 2022 is still subsisting. They now alluded to the election which we conducted on 22nd February, that election is valid in law. And so, in view of that development, we now went back to the Supreme Court to withdraw the case, because as at that time, the legal order has been cleared. Right. What the federal government was saying was that that there was a case ongoing to determine who happened to be the appropriate local government chairman. And having got that judgment, we applied, we filed an application to withdraw the suit, and that ended it. So the federal government never filed any case. And so it was implied that some journalists are still brandishing around. If they believe in it, they will have filed a case and meet them fire for fire. Now, as far what is the current position? The current position as it is now is that the allocation of Osun State, allocation will belong to the people of Osun State, which is supposed to be paid through the local government, which other states are enjoying, is not being paid since February up to this moment. And let me state categorically that from this allocation, salaries are statutory here. First and foremost, all over the federation, the salary of primary school teachers are usually paid by the local government. The salary of primary school teachers, people not only primary school teachers, from the junior school, JS3, or we call it middle school, to the primary school, are usually paid by the local government. The allowance of our traditional rulers, we usually give token allowance, we call it 5% of the local government, are usually paid by the local government. The salaries of local government staffs are usually paid from the local government allocation. The pensions and gratuities of retirees of the primary school teachers that are retired, some teachers have retired in primary schools, they are equally the responsibility of the local government. The local government staff that have retired, their pensions, both gratuity and pensions, equally are the responsibility of the local government. So when you look at all these things, then the same thing, the payment of health workers are working at the local government, and all others as funding matters like that, they are attached to the local government. And so the withholding of the local government allocation means those categories of workers are deliberately being punished by those that are withholding that allocation. But we also give kudos to our Governor, His Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke. He is trying as much as possible that instead of all of the state using, after the payment of salaries that belong to the state, instead of the state to use the remaining funds for the development of the state, we have to make sure that from our IGR and state allocation to ensure that these categories of workers are being paid. So as we are talking now, it is only in Osun State that the allocation that belongs to us, the allocation that belongs to the people of Osun State, because of people are saying local government allocation, it is just because the money will have to be paid through the local government. All the allocations that are coming to the state, from the state allocation to the local government allocation, belongs to the people. That's the people's money. And let me equally say that even the allocation which the black government shared, Osun State equally has share in it. So all this money belongs to the people.
All right.
Whatever that is withholding the people's money is only punishing the people. They are depriving us of development it's supposed to derive from that allocation, and they are depriving those that are supposed to benefit from that such allocation. Those are statutory those that are supposed to benefit from such allocation. That's what they are doing.
All right, Honorable Alimi, how about the suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation claiming that Osun State should even refund about 7 months of allocation to the federal government? What do you say about that?
That's why I started from. And I stand to be challenged. I said Attorney General of the Federation never filed any suit. He only
so it was a false, are you saying it was a false report?
Wait, let me make it clear to you. It was not, but it is no longer a live issue. We said we were the one who challenged the federal government at the Supreme Court. And the federal government, under the principle of fair hearing, they have every right to defend themselves. It was the response of the Honorable Attorney General to our suit. Response, his own response, not a separate suit. His response, his reply, let me use the common language, his reply to our own suit. Because they could not defend the real case, they now claim that, yes, they want to rely on the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. He now said, in relying on it, that the Supreme Court has given judgment in July 2024. And so all the money they have paid to Osun State from July 2024 up to that time amount to so amount of money, and that all those money were paid in error, and that we should refund it. We now reply the Honorable Attorney General. We now show before the court that money which Honorable Attorney General was paid in error, were never paid in error, that it was paid to Osun State deliberately because they have the cost, and at the same time, not only to Osun State, they pay it to all the 35 states of the Federation. We point further, showing through the document, that while that of Osun State has been stopped, other states are still paying money directly to the joint account. And so that was how they now changed the deal. They changed that. They said, okay, if that's the case, they agree. And that because there is crisis on who is going to govern the local government, and there is a case pending. Now, when the case was eventually determined, and we wrote the Honorable Attorney General, as at that time, then they now move forward. They now say, okay, they now pay the money out of the Federation account just to frustrate the case. They pay it to the CBN, and they claim that they have actually paid the money to the CBN Osogbo accounts, and that the only thing remaining for us is to go and assess it. And that there was a dispute as to who is the authentic chairman to assess the money. Then, immediately we now got the judgment of June 13, which authenticates and legalized our own chairman. Then we wrote them, and we went back to Supreme Court to withdraw the suit. So, Attorney General never filed a suit. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
The moment we have terminated our own suit, then that reply has also gone with it. That's why I say, if Attorney General believes that we are owing them, let them file a suit. It is us that the federal government is owing from February, the allocation that belongs to some people, which they supposed to pay through the local government, the federal government has not paid it, and those behind it happen to be the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Alhaji Goyi Goyitola.
All right. All right, Honorable Alimi, so you are claiming categorically that the suit was not filed. Unfortunately, I was trying to pull up that report which said that that report was actually that the AGF filed a suit at the Supreme Court, but you are telling us now that a suit was never filed at the Supreme Court. That is what you're saying.
Maybe you don't understand. We were the one. Let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying. You are saying the AGF did not file a suit at the Supreme Court.
Never. Let them quote the suit number. You see that it is our own suit number, which already we have withdrawn. There's no suit.
All right. Away from that. Yes. All right. Away from that, Honorable Adeleke, let us look at governance in Osun State right now. The opposition has claimed that the governor of Osun State, the executive governor, Governor Ademola Adeleke, has been missing in action for over 2 weeks. That's ever since he failed in his attempt to defect to the APC, that he left the country. We understand that he traveled to the US for the wedding of his nephew, David Adeleke, also known as Davido, which will be held in Miami, Florida. So we understand he's in the US for that wedding, and he has been missing without officially transmitting power to his deputy governor as constitutionally required. The APC actually released a statement to that effect. I'd like to just take excerpts of that. According to their spokesperson, Kolapo Alimi, he is saying it is wrong for Governor Adeleke to disappear without notifying the citizens of the citizens or the legislature. We need to know who has been running Osun in his absence. The statement said. I'll just leave the rest of the statement. So what do you say to that allegation that the governor has been out of the state for 2 weeks?
Where was Kolapo Alimi when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu traveled out without transferring power to Kashim Shettima? These people are with great respect to them. They are not saying.
Hold on. Does it make it right if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did it? Does it make it right if it is not constitutionally proper? It is not in the constitution. Does it make it? Are you trying to justify that because the president did that? So you're trying to justify. Yes. I
have a question. If the question is answered in affirmative that they didn't say anything, then we take it up to the level where you are being. Because when people are saying something, you make sure you interrogate their intelligence and their intention. So that's why I have that question. Where was Kolapo Alimi and his co-travelers when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu traveled out for more than for almost 2 months? So they didn't say anything. If they didn't say anything wrong, that they should keep mute. Now to the real issue. Our governor had actually traveled out to honor his uncle, Davido.
His nephew,
everything about this traveling in less than 2 weeks. Are you getting it now? Under the law, it is only when the governor is traveling out for more than governor or president. Go and check the law. Governor or president is traveling out more than 21 days. That don't require. That's an act of the National Assembly. The law requires that you transmit power, because the law believes that after 21 days, you cannot say what you are taking is a short leave or thereafter and rule from somewhere. That's why I have them where one day when the president traveled, even beyond that date. So our governor is still within the law. We always act within the law. You can check it out. And so governance has not suffered in any way. Yesterday, we had some programs whereby relating to breastfeeding and some other things. So many activities of the government, salary have been paid. Half payments, salary has been paid yesterday. The salary of the workers for the month of July has been paid. Half salary hold, part of it has been paid. Everything aspect of government is running.
Just to clarify, quickly before my colleague comes in, just to clarify on that point, you are saying that Governor Adeleke has not been away for up to 3 weeks. So if it is proven that he eventually left the country, hold on, Honorable Alimi, let me land. So if it is proven, if we can prove that he actually left the country for up to 3 weeks or more without constitutionally transmitting power to his deputy, would you agree that that is a breach of the law?
It is then that it will be under the law to transmit power. You understand? If after that, and let me tell you one thing. Unless the government is so sure that where I'm going, or the president, I will spend more than 3 weeks. It's not bad. That's what that law says. If at the end of the day, you now discover that where I am now, I will not be able to return before I will not be able to return before the 21 days. He can then transmit. Are you getting it? So there's nothing as wrong, nothing amiss. That's what I'm telling you.
All right.
So it's not late. If the governor decided, if the governor now discover that what I'm doing here, I might not be able. Transmission means just to write a letter. I've been out so time. I will not be able to return on so time. In my absence, by law, my deputy. Simple. The letter will not be delivered to the national, to the state assembly.
All right.
So nothing that's wrong. Our governor is a law abiding.
Point made. And by the way, you are a lawyer, so we expect you to really, be emphatic, and that's what you have done on this matter. And I'm sure the APC or Osun people are watching as the event unfolds. Let me take back a bit of this local government administration matter, because it's of a real concern to Osun people. That is a reason why the drafters of the Constitution, made something in the ilk of local government administration to be closer to the people. Now, you have said, as far as legal fireworks is concerned, it seems all has been cleared, the counter allegations and all of those things. So if that is the case, and the Osun workers are still at home, 2 questions. Number one, why, and it's only in the money that is being expected. Number one, why has the the local government workers, why have they not been told to return? Why have they not returned to their primary place of work? Maybe that might even help. In as much as Osun State government, and you have said the governor's benevolence and his wisdom, they are finding a way to pay them. Why are they still at home? Let them go back to work. Why haven't they done that? And number 2, Lateef Fagbemi in this case, I'd like to ask, because some have asked that question as well, and we are the mirror of the society. Do you think he has personal interest in this matter, or why is he taking it personal? If you can answer that question.
Let me start from your last question. With great respect to our Oga,
the learning sake,
the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, I don't know what is wrong. We all believe he's so versatile in law. He knows what he's doing is against the law. If he has personal interest, he will be the one to explain. But we can infer, because it would be wrong for me to authoritatively say whether somebody has personal interest or not.
Right.
When he is not me and I'm not him. But we can infer that Lateef Fagbemi, that might be the reason. Because Lateef Fagbemi was the counsel that stood for Alhaji Goyitola at the Tribunal, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. And they eventually lost during the tribunal, Election Petition Tribunal. You can fact check that. And as at that time, he has not been appointed as the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation. Now, put it side by side. Now, he's not the Attorney General of the Federation. Oyitola happened to be the leader, former Governor Oyitola, great respect to him, happened to be the leader of the APC in Osun State. Alhaji Goyitola is currently serving in the same Federal Executive Council with Lateef Fagbemi. So you can infer that both of them, they are using all means possible to frustrate this government. What they could not get through the ballot, what they could not get through the courts, they want to use the power at the federal level to get it, to frustrate it. That's one. Secondly, we learned initially that their plan was to, okay, so now going back to your second question, that why did they not get...
Yeah, why have you not allowed the local workers to go back and do their work? In as much you are...
We are not... Wait. If you are in this state, when they started the brigandage, you bear me witness that the very first day was bloody. According to the police, 66 persons were killed, murdered, and several persons were injured. when they went to the local government, the yes and no chairman that the leadership of Ademola Adeleke, they went to our various local governments through brigandage to forcefully take over the local governments. And in that kind of situation, the council workers, in their own wisdom, they thought it as in the interest of their members to protect their members and to protect the property of the local council. The best thing for them is to stay at home until the whole matter is resolved. So when you look at it, if in that your station, FFA, if there is a problem that can take life, I doubt whether this program will be going live as it is now. So we can only appeal to those that have gone to our local government to forcefully take over there without any legal basis, to vacate. Immediately those people that are illegally taking over our local government to be brigandage, immediately they vacate, we see that the local government staff will go back to their work. And for those that might not be lawyers, but can still read our rights, just let us go back to the genesis of this problem. The genesis of this problem is that Alhaji Isaac Agboidoyintola, after he has lost the election on July 15, 2022, he now decided to conduct local government election. Let me rewind a little bit. That prior to that time, he has spent 3.5 years. He had ample opportunity to conduct that local government election. But he didn't. He was appointing his men as caretaker members to the local government. Now, having discovered that he has lost, he now said he wanted to conduct the local government election using OZEC. We all know that election is guided by law. The law that is guiding election as of today is that anybody, either INEC or OCA, who want to conduct an election to our local government or even general election, we have to give 360 days before the conduct of that election, before the date of the election. And so, because the time between July and November, the handover date, there was no way Alhaji Agboidoyintola could get 360 days. He now decided to give 60 days. So we are not lawyers. Let us assume we are not lawyers. Somebody who violated the law from the inception, from the beginning, can you say that election is valid? And you usually call the chairman yes or no, not for 4. All the political parties, all other 17 political parties, inform the government of the day then, and they'll say that this is what the law says. 360 days is the notice, and it's very sacrosanct. You cannot, you should not give 60 days. It's against the law.
Honorable,
the government says, go ahead. Wait, let me land on that.
Yeah.
Let me land on that. Yeah. That they will go ahead. And that was the reason all other political parties boycotted the election. Are you getting it? They didn't participate. And that was the reason why on the ballot paper, because there was no any other political party that was ready to participate in the legality. That was the reason why they now printed yes and no. Take it from there. Anybody that's reasonable and responsible.
Right.
You know that from the beginning, that election is null and void. So whether anybody can say a court has given them anything, you can say, can any court invalidate illegality? The answer is no. All so right. As it is, we can only appeal. And we are on behalf of the state and the good people of Osun State that the federal government, the Honorable Attorney General, and the Alhaji Agboidoyintola, all those people that are punishing the Osun people because of their own selfish political interest, should try as much as possible to ensure that the allocation of Osun that belongs to the people of Osun are released for good governance in Osun State.
Yeah, all right. We'll go on a quick break now. We still have so much more to explore. And you even talked about the federal government being led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in which your principal and all of you are promised to support come next election, even while you are staying put with the PDP. So many things to say. Please stay with us. We'll be back.
All those who masterminded the way it happened will have to pay a price.
Enjoy Western programs, projecting culture and tradition to the world. Brought to you as the break and recapped every hour for your update.
Fellow Nigeria, how to improve your wealth is of paramount importance to me.
Produced and brought to you in a unique way never before seen.
Western Spring.
And Western Spring Television. Television is coming home in your color and culture.
Arrested, affected, sound, found. What do we see? What do we say? Flowing from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever expounding current events. Traveling down from the business gist to the globally arising happenings, to the sports news, to the bittersweet info. Guided transmission, even diffusion, vast and fast. Detailed facts are fled. Within seconds, nuggets of words that flew across borders are fired. Stories short and long, wrapped in bundles of words, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Thank you for staying with us. Today on Morning Spring, we still have with us Honorable Kolapo Alimi, Commissioner for Information and Communication in Osun State. And we're talking about the state of Osun as a state, talking about governance and issues surrounding the state. Honorable, before we went on that break, you were talking about the election. You mentioned, you alluded to the election in Osun State. First of all, you talked about the allocations. We talked about the local government allocations that are being withheld. You are saying it's unfair, it's unjust. But for the sake of balanced perspectives, let us look at it this way. Let's look at the elections conducted in February in Osun State, where your party, the PDP, allegedly won all the seats. Right here on this program, we had the Argon chairman, Honorable Sarafadeen, and I posed that question to him, that you are a local government chairman in Osun State, that the election which brought you into office, no results were released, official results were not released. And guess what he said? You are a lawyer, Honorable Anibi. The Argon chairman told me that it is not results that matter, that it is certificates of return from INEC that validates that position and not the results of the election. That was what he said right here on this show. You are a lawyer. Is that the case? That's number one. Number two, we also had the OCEC chairman right here on this program telling us that fine, because I asked him the same question. How come? Because if you are saying, oh, funds are being withheld, you are the legitimate holders of that office that the PDP chairman won, how come no results were officially released? The OSEC chairman said, oh, he was going to release the results, that the results would be on the, so that it's on the website, on their website, that people can check it. Because I told him that I myself as a journalist have not seen any of those results. You are a lawyer, Honorable Alimi. What is the legality of your men claiming to be chairman in an election where no results were released? And the Argon chairman is saying that it is certificates of return that validates an election. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, let me correct the nomenclature you gave me. My office is Minister of Information and Public Enlightenment.
All right.
Associates, not Minister of Information and Communication.
Okay.
Start from that place.
Apologies for that.
Now, so on the issue, on the issue you raised, first and foremost, let me tell you, results were announced by OCF. If you listen that very day, you will see that results were announced and winners were announced. What happened was that, and when you are talking of the notice, the OCF gave notice around February 2024 for that election. You can cross-check.
Honorable, sorry to cut in, Honorable Alimi. Results, winners were announced, not results. Winners were announced.
I'm coming to it. I'm coming. Results were equally announced. Wait, result. When you are talking of winners and results, I will let you know now. The OCF gave notice for that election by 2024 February. You can fact check it. All other political parties participated in the election, including APC. They participated in the election. That's the second. If you follow the trajectory, they paid, they made payments, they obtained for, they did the screening, they did their primary, so they participated in the election. However, 24 hours to that election, 48 hours to that election, the APC, who happened to be the major political party, saying that they will lose, they might lose the election if they participate, might lose the election, hopefully. What they did was that they announced their withdrawal, that they are withdrawing from that election. And 24 hours to that election, using their federal might, the police, the army, other security agents, they were transferred, and another letter from the office of Honorable Attorney General of the Federation transferred as well to prevent Osun State from going on with that election. And so on the day of the election, there was tension and people move out, but in many places, in some places, especially in the Igbo and very few places, electoral officers were arrested and later released. So it made it difficult for the coalitions and the result for the coalitions of each of the election to be done at the various coalitions centers. It was, all of them were moved to the to OCF for final determination. And since on their own coalition, they have actually withdrawn from the election. So all other things are just superfluous. They withdrew from that election. Since they voluntarily withdrew from that election, and they were using, if you monitor, I know your station that have monitored the election, you will have seen that security were 100 people around that very day. You will discover that there was no need for anybody to risk his life and stay at the police centers. So everything was taken to the OCF. So the OCF eventually announced the winners based on the results given to them. So that is just
Honorable Alimi, you are still, Honorable Alimi, sorry to cut in, you are still not addressing the question. I do not want us to overflow this issue. And for the sake of our viewers, this is very basic. An election was conducted, okay? For the sake of the legality of those who are announced, some people were announced winners. Up till now, if you say someone won an election, you tell us, you let us know that, okay, this person had 10,520 votes, this other candidate had 5,000 votes, this is why this person...
That's what I'm telling you that...
Honorable Alimi, it is as simple as that. Up till now... Honorable Alimi, up till now in Osun State, those results were not released.
Wait, I have record of my own voting in my polling units. We equally have record in our polling units of PDP candidates and the score. You understand it? And all electoral officers, they moved all these things because what was ordinarily was supposed to happen was that to take those things to the Ward Coalition Center, from Ward Coalition Center to the local government centers. But because of the situations at that time, created not by OCF, but created by the opposition, which you witnessed, so everything was moved to OCF. And so if you need the exact figures, and or you said the OCF has not posted that, I will inquire. The OCF based on the result, and that's that because the major political party, the PDP, who are the APC, who was participating in that election, who nominated candidates, few hours to the election, withdrew. So if the main opposition had withdrawn, and most of other places, you understand it, there were some parties. Let me tell you one thing, so that for you to know that there were results. There was an election president tribunal organized for that election, which started, and the result of that election was submitted before the tribunal.
All right, Honorable.
You understand it? So what I'm telling you in essence, wait. If you don't know, you can inquire. They used to sit at the state high court. There was a tribunal because of people challenged the election.
All right.
They had the
point made,
if there were no election, or if there were no election, or there were no result, what are you challenging?
All right.
You understand it?
Yeah. We still have a lot of questions to ask you. Yeah,
I understand you. I understand the point you're trying to make, but the fact remains that why is it shrouded in secrecy? You said it was the results were displayed at the tribunal. Why is it shrouded in secrecy? Why can't the people see? Just for the sake of fairness, that this person won by a particular margin. We do not have that in Osun State, and that remains the fact, Honorable.
Instead of flogging this, number one, tribunal is not a secret place. When you say election president tribunal, they conduct their trial in open. That is one. Secondly, instead of flogging this one, and I promise to contact the OSEC chairman on your behalf. As at the time you interview, it was so close. Now I will ask him why it is. I will equally check the OSEC web. If the result is not there, I will ask him why the result is not there. The OSEC has the result because there are our elections.
It's all right. We hold you by that.
The contestation was not there because the major political party, the opposition that took part up to 24 hours.
Honorable, we have to move on. Yeah, you have made a promise. You are going to contact Honorable Ashim Abioye and possibly have the result. We'll appreciate if actually you can have it sent to us as well, and we make a public good of it. Now, moving on.
It is just like that. If anyone will send it to you, it's not my own duty to.
It's fine. It's fine. You know, the Osun people are watching, just like everybody is watching right now, and you know it's always good to do either the APC participate or not. We have a duty to our conscience, to the law, and to the public good. Now, away from that, the issue of
before we move away from that one,
we just have to move away.
Attest. Wait a bit. I expect you to attest to the fact that on the eve of that election, there was a lot of federal might power to ensure that
you have said that. You have said that over and over.
And that,
we understand.
I expected you to attest to that.
It's all right, but we just have to move away. Now, the issue of teachers' recruitment in Osun State is another worrying one, Honorable. And I'm sure we've spoken to you on this program before in the past. Our sister station at the other end have done that. Many persons have inquired to say almost, 2 years of promise. At least more than a year. It started from February last year. The positions were advertised, teachers' recruitment, people went all the way, and it has been delayed. I remember the last time I spoke with you on this program, you said very soon. Very soon. That was almost 6 months ago. Very soon. Other states have done theirs. Ondo did. I think Oyo did. Many states have done that. And we are still here. All of a sudden, recently, those who have collected forms, gone through the processes, and were waiting for deployment, all of a sudden we heard that the group of people, the youth empowerment thing called the Molekor, are the ones that will now do the job. I must tell you, Honorable, many Osun persons are angry and upset that why will Governor Adeleke go through that route? It's supposed to be a case of promise made and promise kept. Why is it a case of promise made and promise unkept? There has been explanations and explanations. And will any of the government officials allow their words, their children, to be taught by an afterthought intervention called the Molekor? Why have you done this to Osun people?
Well, there is no promise unkept. Let me correct an impression. And let me say categorically that governance is about planning. Governance is not done on emotions. We have stated certain facts, which we expect you journalists to continue to flog. If you don't flog it and you are flogging what you are not supposed to flog,
you have an opportunity of explaining to Osun people this morning.
That's why, let me explain. We said, you all know that the allocation that is due to our state, through which salaries of high school teachers are supposed to be paid, are not released to us. We all kept mute on that. Do you elect somebody as governors or local government chairman, as a senator or anything, to administer the personal fund? Is it not the state funds and the public funds? Let me take it from the beginning.
Honorable Alimi, sorry, so that you can take it, please hold on. That the first, recruitment information was February 2024. The issue of Osun local government started in February 2025. That's 1 year apart. So what is the explanation?
Let me take it one after. They are not. You need to get this explanation.
Please do quickly.
I thought the governor is about planning. His governor is about planning. And we want you journalists to always follow the event properly so that people will not be misinformed. When we said we wanted to recruit 5,000 class plus, there is what is known as financial implication of that one. Anytime anybody wants to recruit, you have to consider the salary you are paying currently before the recruitment. Then you consider this financial implication of the new recruits. You had everything together. You will not consider the state force. That is what is known as financial clearance. It is when you, after you might have solved the problem of financial clearance, that determine the amount, the number of people you are going to recruit. That is governance. When we are talking governance, that is governance. Government don't just go out, doesn't go out and recruit just anyhow. After that one, so by the time we plan to recruit, we base our financial clearance and the financial implications on 30,000 minimum wage. My brother, when the labours, after the removal of subsidy, when the labours was agitating for increment in salary, and they were requesting for 800,000, 400,000, 120,000 naira, as people who are defensive and who is not ready to put this state in problem, it's not reasonable for us to hold on to know what will happen to the issue of salary, because we don't want a situation where we recruit and both the newly recruited and the existing one will not be paid. We waited, and when it was eventually discovered that 70,000 happened to be the minimum wage, we started our whole negotiation with the NSC, and we eventually agreed to a wage higher than the minimum wage, 70,500 naira. So after that one, we now started to look back at the issue of recruitment. Now that we have known that the salary is this, let us see what is going to be the implication for like 2 months on the old wage. Because when you increase wage, definitely the allocation from Abuja might be oscillating. After the removal of subsidy, the allocation has not increased beyond what was, apart from oscillating every month, because it is not static, it usually oscillates. Okay, when we discover that yes, we are now ready to recruit certain number of teachers, it was there we have conducted interview, we were about to release the letter. It was then the issue of local allocation came on board. And as I've told you, that if you don't know, everybody that is listening now, that it is from the allocation of local government that the primary school teachers are paid. And if it is from the allocation of local that the primary school teachers are paid, and the of the allocation of the local government means all the primary school teachers in the state and all the teachers in the junior schools, they will not get salary. And the government now said no, there is no way we will be comfortable to ensure that a section of our workers are not paid. Let us look for how we use the state resources and the idea to pay all categories of workers. So by the time we do that one, it's now reasonable for us as a state. When a month, 2 months, we didn't make it public. We thought sanity would prevail in Abuja, that they would realize that this money they are holding, salary is part of it. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they didn't pay. We thought something that they would quickly series it. If the allocation up to this moment has not been released, and you all know, and you know the workers that are supposed to be paid through that allocation are being paid, it seems reasonable for us do you need a soothsayer that if we increase that way bill, we might not be able to pay anybody again? And so when people are now asking questions, instead of directing their questions to those that ensure that their allocations to the state are not paid, and they are still talking as if the state has the power to print money, I wonder, where is our listening?
All right.
Let me now come back to your question. Let me now come back to the question on the Imaleko. Imaleko, we made it clear from the beginning that just like it used to be during the OES subsidy, those that are qualified there will be deployed to schools. Because if we recruit and we employ 10,000 teachers today, there will still be need for teachers in our schools. And so those that are qualified there, and what I mean is that those that are either graduate of education, or those who have NC, or those who have a 10D and have diploma in education, and they apply to Imalekos. And so in the interim, we deploy them. And that has been the practice. Look at the Empower. Most of them were deployed to school. Look at Youth Corps. Most of them actually deployed to school.
How much would they be paid? How much would they be paid? How much would they be paid?
No, we told you the Meleko is 30,000 naira. And when you multiply that one by 10,000 people, that is additional
30,000 naira to dispense knowledge. What kind of energy will they have to do that?
My brother, I believe you are listening to me.
Yeah, we are together.
If actually you are listening to me,
I am.
When you are saying something is core, are you getting it now? When you are saying something is core, it's not a full-fledged employment, and people voluntarily apply to it. And we did it in a way that, yes, you will stay in your own local government where you say you are resident. You will not need to use part of that money for transport fare. And when Governor introduced OES, teachers were there, and they were being paid 10,000 as an after. So when the government of President Muhammadu Buhari introduced Empower, teachers were there, and they were not paid the full salary. So when you are talking of something as a stop, you understand it. And they are not the way they were structured.
All right.
They are supposed to be deployed to school, and they are not supposed to be full-fledged teachers if they do other things, other than they do the subject assigned today, and they can do other things.
All right,
so the way we reason, the way we reason in this country, we need to change. Point to the fact that if allocation is fixed, and as of today, no category of worker in office is not paid, kudos to be given to the governor instead of us plugging what are supposed to come. That is the truth. And as those of us thought, and I said it on radio station, I will repeat it now. My own daughter just finished from one of the public secondary schools. Quality service about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can fact check it, and I can tell you the school privately because. So it is not true as if the way the people are saying how could you allow.
All right, Honorable Alimi, we need to move on. We are running out of time. You've made your point. We quickly have to move on because of time. Just before we leave, we've been talking about governance, but just for a bit, let's talk about politics right now. There is political tension in Osun State as we speak, starting from the defection saga, the rumors of defection, allegations and counter-allegations about Governor Ademola Adeleke. Fine. He later came out publicly to say that he is not defecting, that he never wanted to defect. They were actually pleading with him to come to their party, but now he's staying with the PDP. But your principal, the governor, has also pledged his support for the president in 2027. But there is political tension in the state. A lot of PDP members, a lot of your members have defected already. So what will happen? Do you think, Honorable Alimi, that your governor, that the governor of Osun State, our governor, Governor Ademola Adeleke, still has that support of the people? After all that saga, after that defection saga, do you think he still has the support of the people of Osun State going to the elections in 2026? And now that he's supporting Mr. President for 2027, so what if the PDP now puts forward a candidate, of their own for 2027 presidential election? You have a governor in Osun State who's running on the platform of PDP. He's not going to support the presidential candidate of the PDP. Does that make any logical sense to you?
Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, you have stated it, and I will repeat it. that as it is today, our governor, His Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke, is in PDP and is staying in PDP. It's not defecting to any political party. Yes, there were advances from those that matters, both within and outside, that in order for him to support President Tinubu, he should defect. But eventually, while some people are pushing that one, the majority of some people said they don't want to have anything to do again with Alhaji Boyinbo and his co-travelers. And you could just see it that Alhaji Boyinbo said they are not. And he has stated clearly that it's not that contesting. Not because they have no right to contest, because he knows that people have rejected him. And so it's not only him that has been rejected, and his co-travelers, all these people. So that is politics for him. And so there's the stakeholders in the state. We have some traditional rulers and people who believe that as Ademola Tinubu, being a Yoruba man, should be supported. And our government is a Democrat by excellence. And these are the people who say, we will support you with everything we want, but we need something from you too. We want you to support Ademola Tinubu. That's it. And politics is about people. If what our people in the state want is that one, why not? After all, Ademola Tinubu is a Yoruba man and traces his ancestral home to Osun State. So if that is the case, then what is wrong in that one?
What is wrong? So, Honorable Alim, sorry to cut in. What is wrong is that. So you are justifying tribalism as against good governance. That is tribalism. That's a classical example of tribalism playing out right here.
Don't force your opinion. You have stated the facts. That's your opinion. Let me start tribalism. Let me tell you one thing. There is one thing you should know first. Before you are in Nigeria, you have to belong to your parents. From your parents, your community, from your community to your ward, from your ward to your local government, from your local government to the state. Why is it this issue of Omowane Jose? Let me bring you back to the memory lane. In 1983, when Leti Bolage contested against Dr. Molulu Loyo, the people of Ibadan came up with a theory. They said, Omowane Jose, they voted en masse for an Ibadan man because of the fact that he was an Ibadan man. And they voted against Leti Bolage because Bolage was not from Ibadan. Omowane Jose, simultaneously, similar letters, the politics in Nigeria. Everybody will of us see your person. You have never seen the candidate of a PDP. And the PDP has stated that their candidate is going to be from the south. Are you getting it down? They are stating it and stating it. So if the two candidates are from the south, then and the people of Osun and who happen to be the stakeholder who put the governor there, say this is what we want. We want our governor to go against them. So
Honorable, so it's the people. Sorry, Femi. So sorry, Femi. So Honorable Alimi, you are saying it is the people of Osun who said they want Tinubu. Is that what you're saying? That is the people of Osun. You are making it look, Honorable. You are making it look as if it is the people of Osun who asked the governor to support Tinubu.
Wait. If you don't understand, let me explain. I told you that we have stakeholders. When you are talking of the people, you know the people have some stakeholders, like traditional rulers. I don't want to mention names. Some majority of the traditional rulers in this state, they believe as Ademola Tinubu be a Yoruba man, should be supported. And these are the people who said, thick and thin, the governor we are going to support you.
All right.
This is what
point made, Honorable.
We probably have opinion borders. So that is not it.
We are totally out of time.
Our election is different. Okay.
Yeah, but we won't.
The time for the election is slightly different.
All right.
The governorship election will come in 2026. While that of the president will come in 2026.
All right, let me just ask you this one more question, Honorable, and it's personal to you. Political, not really personal, your personal journey. You know, for those that followed your politics for some time, they believe you are an Aregbesola man. And there are rumors of defection by the governor. At the time, the people said, oh, Alimi has went incommunicado, you are silent, you are unseen in public, conversations, and you are not heard. Now you are being seen, now you are being heard. Was it deliberate? And let me ask you, if push comes to shove that you must defect, I'm just saying, will you rather pitch your tent with your former boss, Aregbesola, or you go back to your ex, APC?
Well, let me say one thing.
1 minute, sir.
I'm a man of principle.
Yeah.
And wait, and don't do conjecture. You say as at that time, I didn't talk. I used to talk on governance. And when somebody asks me questions on politics, I talk it. Any day in Nigeria, everybody knows that Ademola happened to be my benefactor.
Yeah.
He appointed me commissioner twice. I'm not the kind of person that will become an ingrate to somebody who has benefited me. At the same time, Ademola Adeleke has benefited me. My project today is how Ademola Adeleke will end. The issue of whether Ademola Adeleke will defect or not has become a thing of the past. So when things has not arisen, when issue has not arisen, you don't continue.
So your loyalty belongs to Ademola Adeleke now.
And I'm going to work for Ademola Adeleke.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm working with Ademola Adeleke, and Ademola is not contesting again. So when I have,
he has an ADC that will contest.
Ademola Adeleke, and what? Pardon me.
He has an ADC party that will contest.
Pardon, what do you say?
He has an ADC that will contest.
You know, if somebody is contesting, yes, somebody is contesting the ADC. You expect me to leave somebody who has benefited me?
It's all right.
Understand it?
All right.
Ademola Adeleke. So now go. No.
Commissioner for Information and Public.
Me or you do good to me, I will reward you with good. That's
fair enough. Point made. Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolapo Alimi, thank you for your time and your take. And it's always nice speaking with you. And we'll speak with you very soon because you are the man in charge of information. And of course, you're a public official. It's our duty to hold you and all of your people, in responsibility to the public. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. And I use this opportunity again to plead with the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation.
You have made this point over and over.
Honorable Commissioner,
thank you.
You might have to pay for public announcements.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable. Femi Ojo is my name. God bless Osun State. God bless Nigeria. We'll make a return tomorrow.
And Emeka Daniel is my name. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an interesting conversation. Of course, a pleasure having the Honorable Commissioner join us this morning. And so you are distinguished viewers. Always a pleasure to have you. Join us again tomorrow for a fresh edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Do have a wonderful day. Good morning.